What are the top 5 long-range weapons in Warzone? That is what I'm here to answer for you. I'll also be giving you the best class setups for each weapon. This is going to have everything from assault rifles to sniper rifles. Welcome back, I'm Austin, and the 5th best long-range weapon is the 3-line rifle. What makes this sniper so good is its incredible bullet velocity of nearly 1600 meters per second at 1592. That is the best in Warzone. And another advantage it has over other one-shot knock snipers is that it has better mobility and aim down sight speed. While it's certainly isn't anywhere near the Modern Warfare Kar 98, it feels much better than the snipers like the HDR and Gorenko anti-tank. Then on top of this, you'll never have to reload it because it has a 20-round mag on its best bullet velocity setup. This is by far the best classic bolt-action sniper rifle within Warzone currently, and I've gotten eliminations out to 440 meters with this. If you love to snipe at long distances on Caldera, this is your optimal sniper to use, and let's hop straight into the class setup. So the first thing we're going to use is the Mercury silencer instead of the MX because it doesn't hurt our aim down sight speed and gives us just as much bullet velocity. Then we got to use this Koloski 820mm barrel because that's going to give us about plus 345 bullet velocity on the weapon. And then we use the 4 to 8 times optic because it not only gives us really good zoom, it also lowers the idle sway of this weapon considerably, which was its biggest con, but this 4 to 8 optic fixes that completely. Then we got the 20-round mag, of course, and the Mark V Skeletal and Polymer are both going to help us with our aim down sight speed, plus we get some flinch resistance on this one. And Silence Focus, for some reason, actually makes it so your reload is quicker, which doesn't really help the weapon, but it still gives you more aiming stability, which is why we're using it. Then we got On Hand for some more aim down sight speed, as well as this Zach Custom for some more movement advantages. The 4th best long-range weapon is the Vargo 52 from Cold War, not to be confused with the trash Vargo S from Vanguard. Do you guys like the M13? The 6th most used assault rifle in Warzone? I'm pretty sure you guys do. Well, the Vargo 52 is just a better version of it. It has a 38 millisecond faster time to kill at 900 milliseconds for long range over the M13. Then it has far better movement with nearly 1 meter per second faster on sprint speed. Then check this out. The average KD of people using the M13 is only 0.85, but on the Vargo 52, which actually has the highest average KD on any single assault rifle within all of Warzone at 1.28. That is an incredible sample and should tell you all you need to know. It also has over 1500 meters per second on its bullet velocity, which is almost as good as that 3-line rifle we just talked about. The Vargo is an absolute beast of a long-range assault rifle. It's forgiving with a fast fire rate, it's accurate, it has a fast time to kill, and it has solid mobility for an AR. And you just gotta try this setup. So we go with the GRU and the Task Force. These are gonna get our bullet velocity to over 1500, plus helping us with our recoil and keeping us silenced. Then the Axial Arms 3 times, of course, the optic of choice for long-range Cold War weapons, 60-round mag to help our damage per mag out a little bit, and then we got the Spetsnaz grip for some more recoil control. You're not going to regret using this, whether it's Caldera or Rebirth or Fortune's Keep. If this video has been helpful so far, please get this video to 50 likes and subscribe for more Warzone content that will keep you up to date on the meta. The 3rd best long-range weapon is the STG-44. I have made countless videos on this trying to get people to use the weapon properly because 87% of you are still using the Gorenko 50-round mag. You're just putting yourself at a disadvantage when you don't need to. The problem is that no big-time content creator has ever tried to figure out a class setup with the 60-round on the STG, because if you just take the normal STG setup and switch it from 50 to 60 round, it will be bad. I'm not gonna lie, it just doesn't work that way. But my class setup makes it so the STG is just as accurate as the 50 round, but you have the time to kill of 900 milliseconds instead of 1034, and you also get way better damage per mag, making it perform much better in trios and quads. I have heard nothing but positive reviews from my subscribers who have made the switch to my class setup. I even had someone get a personal record of 48 kills with it, which is not only a personal record, but one of the best games all of last season in Warzone. If that doesn't convince you to try this class, nothing is going to. How do I make this thing just as accurate as the 50 round? Well, the biggest fix is going to be going to this 1229 Slate 325 times custom over the 3 to 6 times optic, which got even worse with the mid-season update where they added 15% visual recoil. This not only gives you better recoil control actually, it also gives you much less visual recoil. But what you have to do to make the optic nice is switch the reticle up to this crosshair dot, and it looks so clean. Then from there, everything else is pretty much geared towards making the gun as accurate as possible, which is why we're using this VDD 760, the VDD weighted, and then we also have focus on here because flinch resistance is really important in fights. If you're shooting someone and you're not actually getting knocked off target, and they are, you're gonna win a lot of gunfights because of that. Then we got the hatch grip and the Carver foregrip because that just helps us a little bit more with our vertical recoil. than the hand stop barrel would. And then we of course have to put on lengthened and the 60-round mag like I was talking about. You're just not going to regret trying this setup out. You're going to love it. The second best long range weapon is the Whitley. It got buffed and it's absolutely amazing. This is a weapon that gives you the time to kill of an LMG at 840 milliseconds, which is faster than every single AR in Warzone, and similar mobility to the assault rifles we were just talking about. You get the best of both worlds, and that is reflective in the average KD of players while using the Whitley being 1.3, but it isn't used nearly enough, with under 1% of the community selecting it in their loadouts. It has low recoil, but you're definitely going to notice it. Then you only need to hit one chest shot to maintain your 840 millisecond time to kill at long range, which is actually impossible to not do, so it's always going to be 840, so it's really consistent. You also get really good bullet velocity at 1460 meters per second, making it easy to hit your shots at 100 meters. The one downside you might think it has is the 45 round mag, which helps your time to kill and mobility, but the reload only takes 1.8 seconds, which is incredibly fast, especially for a light machine gun. The Whitley truly reminds me of the Bruin with the 60 round mag when it was first released, so if you love the Bruin, you'll love this class setup. If we start off with the obvious, we got a silencer and a barrel to help our bullet velocity, accuracy, and damage range, but I used the G16 2.5 times optic instead of the 3-6 because I think the visual recoil is a little bit too much on it now, and I find it a lot easier to use with this 2.5 times optic. Then from there, we have some things geared towards accuracy and some things geared towards movement. So first off, the movement is going to be our Gracie EK8, which is going to be our aim down sight speed and aim walking movement speed, which are both super big benefits when you're using this gun at mid-range instead of long range, but it works in both areas very well. Then we got on hand for some more ADS and a little bit dexterity if you aren't running amped. Then for accuracy, we got hard scope, hatched, strife angled, and this 45 round mag that I was talking about. Recoil and accuracy control, movement speed, ADS, and fire rate. It makes the weapon more forgiving and easier to use and better mobility. Absolutely fries people, and you gotta try out this class setup. Now I want to give one dishonorable mention, the UGM8. It's still disgustingly broken and should have been at the top of this list, but I refuse to recommend it because I absolutely hate it. It's basically the MG82 the first day it was released, but yet they barely nerfed it. The moral of the story is don't be lame by using the UGM. And now that I've gotten that out of the way, the best long-range weapon is the Gorenko anti-tank rifle, easily. It is the second highest KD weapon in all of Warzone at a 1.35. All the nerfs they did were completely useless to what makes this weapon overpowered. It's a semi-automatic, one-shot sniper. And what did they do? They lowered its fire rate from 120 rounds per minute to 111. What is that going to do? Nothing. It's laughable. Then they lowered its handling stats with the aim down sight speed especially, making it feel very slow, but that doesn't hurt a weapon when you're mainly going to be using it against enemies that are 50 or more meters away. It's broken because you can follow up your shots so quickly. There is almost no risk to shooting and missing with this sniper, but boatloads of rewards. And that's why it's better than the 3-line that was on this list earlier, because that can only shoot 1/3 of the speed of the Gorenko. If you miss with the 3-line or the ZRG or the HDR, your chances of getting an easy elimination are gone. With the Gorenko, if you miss it or get a body shot, you can just go ahead and shoot another shot immediately. The Gorenko is and will continue to be the easiest to use sniper rifle in the game unless they nerf it significantly. And for the class setup, all we're trying to do is make this weapon as easy to use as possible while not hurting the aim down sight speed too much. That's why I use the Mercury silencer instead of the MX, because we get the same bullet velocity benefit, but we don't lose any aim down sight speed time. Then the 420 Empress helps our bullet velocity and our ADS, so it's great. The SVT 3-6 is used over the 4-8 because, once again, the aim down sight speed doesn't get hurt nearly as much. And I'm going with the heavy stock over the reinforced because the heavy stock makes this thing absolutely, incredibly, stupidly easy to use. You not only get flinch resistance, but you get aiming stability. And you can't hold your breath with an optic that has different zooms on it. So the aiming stability is super key, and this stock just really helps out with that. Then we go with focus for some more flinch resistance, on hand to help out our aim down sight speed. And then we go with stable grip, which helps our initial firing recoil and our recoil recovery, which is more important on this sniper than usual because we can actually semi-spam this weapon. And you might be shooting 1, 2, or 3 shots quickly, and this is going to help with that tremendously. Then we go with the 10 round mag just because we need more bullets in the clip because we can shoot it so quickly. And then we go with FMJ rounds because there's no length end, and this will just help us wall bang some people. And then a lot of people like to use the bipod, but I like the flashlight to increase our damage range because the body shot damage is very low, so it's going to be higher in its initial range, and that's why we try to extend it instead of using this thing that hurts our aim down sight speed. If you want to get a bunch of kills, just use these 5 long-range weapons, and I'm going to have a video linked here for the top 5 sniper supports that you might want to use with this Gorenko anti-tank. Peace.